Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Blue Smoke Cigars. You see right there, imagine a place where you can relax with friends, pick out your own HD monitor, play some cards, use a golf simulator, all while enjoying the finest cigars in the world at great prices. That is Blue Smoke Cigar, great club, corner of South Peters Road and Kingston Pike. Join up the first of the year, get a membership for 2018. Blue Smoke Cigar. Rejoined by Mark Pankratz. Going to be kind of a quickie segment here. We're going to call on your former coaching skills here. I want a scouting report. Give me 2 keys to victory. Tennessee beat Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt. Are the keys the same this week? What are the keys? And then 2 keys for Iowa State, part of that SEC Big 12 Challenge. A weird one, as Chuck pointed out, at the end of January, on the road, out of conference. 2 keys to victory for both games.
First key is give Grant Williams whatever pregame meal he had last time. He's got to get that this time. No, I think we got to defend the ball handler against Vanderbilt. We can't let them penetrate, because then what happens, we sink to the ball handler and they're shooting wide open threes. And so we've got to make Vanderbilt beat us from 2. We can't foul and we can't give up open threes because we don't defend penetration.
Okay.
And then for Iowa State, they are the second fastest shooting team in the Big 12. They shoot the ball every 16 seconds, so we've got to get back on transition defense. Typically, Tennessee likes to get that tempo up like you saw versus South Carolina, but Iowa State's got really good guard play, and so we've got to be able to get back in transition, which means not only get back, but you got to be able to rebound the basketball so they can't get out and get easy shots, specifically from the three-point line. In terms of,
back to your coaching days, would this just be just another game, or you're in your conference groove? Would you be looking at this saying, well, I wish we didn't have to go outside of conference at this point? How would you look at it, or is it just another game on schedule?
Well, as a coach, you're always trying to find some way to get them motivated and focused on. Look, Iowa State's been to the Sweet 16 2 years ago, second round in the NCAA tournament last year. They're a good basketball team. And so I think sometimes you can get motivated by the fact that they've won 21 of their last 28 basketball games at home versus ranked opponents. And so it's about the bigger mission that Tennessee's on that I think Barnes will sell them on to get motivated.
What do you guys think about the SEC Big 12 Challenge? I mean, we know the idea behind it. You're trying to force feed better matchups and better RPI games into your league. Early on, it didn't work very well. Iowa State, a good program for Tennessee, although their RPI this year is around 100. Your thoughts on the matchup? Chuck, you're shaking your head. You don't like it.
No, I don't like it at all, and I think it's ridiculous to be going there at the end of January. This thing could have been played any time during the season. It doesn't have to be, as you're so far into conference play.
They used to play it in December, but nobody paid attention to it. So they moved it to January to get more attention paid to it and for inventory for ESPN.
Of course. The bottom line on anything is inventory for ESPN.
See, from a basketball guy, I love it because if you lose the game, it's not a big deal. Whereas in football, if you go lose if an Alabama goes and plays a Florida State during regular season, they lose that game, there's chances they might not make the Final Four. Whereas in basketball, this is a game that if you win it, great. If you lose it, it's not the end of the world, but it's good for the fans and good for the game.
Mike Strange, are you disappointed you're not going to be traveling to Iowa in the middle of January or at the end of January?
Well, you know what? I've never been to Hilton Arena, and I've heard it is one of the all-time good atmospheres. So a little bit, yeah. I would like to say I've seen
I can think of a lot of Hiltons I'd rather visit than that one in Exile.
I've been to Iowa in February. That's not somewhere I want to go back to. And I like cold weather, but that's no thank you. All right, Mark Pankratz, thank you very much. We'll see you back here next week to talk about those 2 games and look ahead to the last part of this 4-game swing. Big week for Tennessee. I mean, they got 3 of these next 4, or the next 2 weeks, 3 of the next 4 at home. It's a great chance to really build that resume a little further. When we come back, 2 things that have people outraged. We'll discuss. There's always something on the UT campus that has people ticked off. We'll tell you what those things are in case you're not already ticked off by them. Come on back on the Sports Source.